Alright, so I've been playing Final Fantasy Ever Crisis all day. Now keep in mind the closed beta, which is currently running. It only, well, one of the countries it runs in is the United States, but I'm not sure about other countries. I just know that it works in the United States if you've signed up for the closed beta and you got selected. Anyway, so Final Fantasy Ever Crisis is, as you might imagine from the name, it's basically a telling of the story of Final Fantasy VII. Whether it's the actual Final Fantasy VII, which you see right there, or if it's Crisis Core, the prequel, or would this be the prequel to the prequel? The First Soldier, um, which is supposed to be from that Battle Royale game that they closed down. Now, I'm not sure why they closed it down. I thought it was alright, but maybe they shouldn't have made it a mobile game. They should have made it a console game or something, or maybe they should have marketed it better. Uh, at any rate, I don't even remember there being a story for that one, but I might not have played it enough. I played it for the first like 2 or 3 days, but then it was just a hassle to play with the touchscreen. Probably would have needed a controller. I tried playing with a controller, but anyway, I digress. Going back to this game. So this game is a gacha game, as you can tell here, but right now in the beta, the store is actually, you can just use the currencies that you get from the game, but you can't buy things with real money just yet. And the beta is ending in a week. I think 5 days are remaining. Right, so why does this game have 3 games in one, basically? Well, it doesn't. It's actually a single game that tells 3 different stories. Each of them has a few chapters, sort of like a summary or highlights from each one. So, you've got the original Final Fantasy VII, where you've got cutscenes from the remake, which are really like, you've got the resolution and everything. But then when you start playing, you start walking around with chibi characters. Not as pixelated as the PlayStation 1 days, but it looks really good. I don't want to open that up because that's going to take a while. Now, once the battle starts, it's pretty much a turn-based combat thing where you've got an active ATB gauge. And similar to the remake, you've got the ATB gauge filling up, and as it does, as the ATB gauge fills up, you have some abilities that you can use. Things like whether it's Braver, the combat attack that belongs to Cloud, or whether it's Firaga. I like saying Firaga for some reason rather than Firaga, but it's probably Firaga. And all those materias like Ruin, Quake, and all that sort of thing. So each of them costs a certain amount of ADB gauge, and you can use it accordingly. Now you've got manual mode, you've got auto mode, and semi-auto. Now, semi-auto, I've actually forgotten what it does. So far, I've only been using manual and auto. And, I've found the AI to be really good. Sometimes the game, when it's running at such a high speed, and you've got to switch the stances there from this button right here. When you're in defensive mode, you actually get healed better. So if it switches right there, if you see, it says healing strength increases by a certain percentage. And then in attack mode, which is the red one there, your attacks are amplified. So a lot of the time you face several waves, and you've got your loadout. You can try using your own commands like with manual mode, but sometimes when the enemy just immediately wants to perform an attack and you'd rather be defending, like this one here, Icy Blast. So this one actually counts down for you to have some time to switch to the defense instead of offense. But let's show you some limit breaks right here. So you've got some limit breaks that charge up. Each of them has a certain charge time. I think it depends on the weapon or maybe the ability itself. I'm not quite sure just yet. But the game's alright. I mean, I played for quite a while, but it doesn't seem to me like you need to strategize that much. Not as much as you would think for an RPG. It's all about the numbers since it's a gacha game. So if you've got like, I found it difficult to beat a fight or a challenge using your brains, so to speak. Because if you've got the numbers and you're grinding and you're upgrading your weapons and your abilities and your materia, then you'll be able to pass pretty much anything as long as you've got the right power. Which is why I think it's a bit pay to win. Because let's say a guy charges up his account with like $1,000, he'll just beat what you've done in a month or something. Well, not maybe a month, maybe a couple of weeks of daily playtime. So you've got battle time left a minute up there, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, she died. Tifa did. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure we can do it. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Alright. If they would stop healing. I'm not gonna lie, the auto combat is convenient, especially for such a grindy game. I mean, I cannot fathom having to grind for so long just playing manually. That would be insane. And just as is, I'm already unhappy about the fact that you cannot skip. So let's say you've done this mission right here and you'd like to skip it. What you cannot do is skip the mission, but what you can do is you can use stamina. So you've got this thing right here, stamina boost. This allows you to play to triple each time you play. So instead of getting rewards a single time, you get it 3 times in a row and you use 3 times the stamina. The best way, I think, would be doing it the way Blue Archive does it, which is another gacha game, where you just skip and you use up your stamina and that's it. You don't need to play it over and over and over again. Now I understand that they might want you to play because sometimes you get rare encounters where you fight things like Cactuar, but I'm not sure that's imperative to the fun in this game. Now unfortunately I've got some gripes with the game. So you've got so many currencies, look at this. But you've got steel, several levels of steel. You've got low grade, medium and high. You've got titanium and rose gold, and some of them look like each other. I mean, to me this one looks a bit similar to this. I mean, one is gold and one is rose gold, though this one does look bronze, I understand, but still, why have so many currencies and items to upgrade? I wish it was I mean, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to the weapons. I'm sure they have rationale for doing it the way they do, but have a look at this. So I've got a bunch of weapons right here, right? For example, this sword, this crystal sword, yeah? So if I want to upgrade it, see, you've got several things. You've got the level, the rarity. You can upgrade the rarity and then you can overboost it once you maximize the rarity, the 5 stars right there. So it actually turns into 10 stars. But yeah, uncapping the level. So you've got a bunch. This one needs, for example, what, a mid-grade rose gold. Okay. Let's have a look at another sword. So this one, for example. So if you want to enhance that, you need a steel. Well, why do you need a steel for that one? That's the sword equipped by Cloud as well. How about this one? Let's have a look at the hard edge. This one needs a another rose gold. Okay, so you can have, like, I don't understand why, like, you can have it. I'm not quite sure. You've got like 6 characters. You can have each 2 of them require one of these. This one requires titanium. How about this one? This one requires steel. I don't understand why. It's just, I mean, every time I need to upgrade a weapon, I need to come back here and see which ones I've got equipped, and then hop back to the solo content to choose which enhancement I want. And by now I've already forgotten which ones I've just had a look at. It's just crazy. I mean, there must be a way for them to show me where this one is used in, what this one's used for. Like, okay, what weapons does it unlock? I don't know, man. There must be a way to make this more streamlined. But, you know, it's a gacha game and they all have a gajillion currencies. This one's not the worst offender, but I'd still, you know, the fewer they are, the better. When it comes to stamina, it doesn't recover that slow. Or does it? This one needs 6 hours and a half, which is quite a while, honestly, considering this is just 60 stamina and you start out with what, like 30 or 40 or 45? I'm not quite sure, I don't remember. And there's a limit on how many tonics there you can use to refill your stamina. And these only get filled up once a day, so you know, the triple boost thing. And these crystals, I don't think they're as easy to come by as you might think. The ones that you use to draw. Let me show you how drawing is. Right now you can just draw weapons. So let's do a draw here. So there's a bunch of weapons. You've got the epic ones, you know, the yellow, the gold. You've got the legendary ones, the purple. And you've got uncommon ones, which are blue, and common ones, which are green. Gotta skip that. And let's have a look at what we got. All blues, huh? So sometimes I'm not sure what happened just right there. I mean, it looked blue and then it turned into purple. I think it's because I've got something that combines weapon parts into others. So, you know, you've got the same thing that's in all the gacha games now, where you've got a weapon and you gotta maximize it, and then you gotta maximize it further and further and further, and you keep enhancing, leveling it up, and increasing its rarity, and so on. And it's just, I don't like it, man. But, you know, why am I playing this game then, huh? I just like the IP, man. I like Final Fantasy, and I obviously like Final Fantasy VII as well. So you've got those regular draws, you've got some draws for specific characters, and it's all about the weapons, as you can see. And each weapon gives you certain abilities, and I'm assuming that they should have a draw for materia, do they? Or is it just the weapons? I mean, so far it looks like it's just the weapons, and this one is the featured one right now. But yeah, I mean, it seems pretty expensive. I did like 3 10 draws, I think, in the closed beta so far, in the first day that I played, and I already feel like it's gonna be, like, I'm never gonna get draws that fast. 30 draws in one day, that's gonna be a weekly thing to do, like 10 or 20 draws, you know, maybe. But that's the thing, like, I've already done everything there is to do story-wise, and my progress has slowed down significantly despite unlocking everything. Right now I don't think there is multiplayer. I mean, it says that there is, but it's only at a particular time, and I can't be bothered to what do you call it, to convert the time from PST to whatever. So that's something. But there is supposed to be multiplayer. I imagine that it's live, but I'm not quite sure. Now, materia. Yeah, let's talk about the modes that you've got. So first of all, you've got the story, and doing the story allows you to unlock other modes. So you do the story, and sometimes you're gonna get stuck. So you're gonna go and grind a bit by doing some solo content, and then you come back and beat the story so that you can do even more solo content. And yeah, I mean it's your typical gacha game in terms of that stuff. Daily quests are easy to do, at least. I mean, they're really fast. You do them in less than 10 minutes, maybe. And then you gotta keep grinding. Oh my god, I cannot imagine how much time it will take to upgrade weapons. They gave me enough copies of the Buster Sword to, what do you call it, uncap it to 6 stars, basically, at level 50. But if I want to do something else, like, let's see, if you want to do this, you need 200 copies of this thing. That, my friend, is insane. That is a lot of copies, man. Anyway, so different weapons have different abilities, and what was I going to show you? Right, the modes. So we've got story mode, and we already talked about how you basically do story mode and do solo content to do even more story mode and so on. Now, in solo content, you've got your daily quests. You've got your enhancement quests where you get a bunch of weapon materials. So weapon materials are the ones that level it up. The uncapping is for uncapping, obviously. And you've got some quests for gaining EXP. Now, I know that materia, apparently, according to this, can be synthesized. So that's for that. The last thing that I unlocked was the sealed tower, which is basically a tower where you've got levels, like floors. And I'm stuck over here at the 10th floor, and I'm gonna show you why. That's just because, obviously, I'm at a lower number. Now, I did do this one, 40,000, when I was just at 38, for what it's worth. So, but I did have it at auto anyway. So it's not my genius that allowed me to beat that level. So far, it seems the best thing to do is to play on auto and just keep grinding until you can beat the level with your numbers rather than your strategy, because they will just pummel you. The levels are unfair and they don't give you the chance. I mean, they one-shot you easily, the monsters. I've fought Ifrit and another monster here in the game who have even what's it called Behemoth. All three of them can one-shot you if you haven't leveled up enough. But if you'd like a trip down memory lane and you don't feel like playing entire AAA RPGs on consoles or on your PC, or you just don't want to, you can just see some highlights from the story of each of these games. I don't know what this one is for. I mean, if they cancel the game, I'm not quite sure why they would put it here unless they want to market it in the future or they want to use it somehow. But it's just very weird, the fact that they have this here, although it was a failed project since, I mean, obviously it's been cancelled. But these two I love. I mean, you've got the OSTs from the original games, and I love them. Under the Apple Tree and so on, from Crisis Core. You've got your regular battle theme music from Final Fantasy VII. There's a lot to like, and I wish it wasn't a gacha game. You would have liked it more. But I suppose it's not bad to try and see if it suits you. It's just that Square Enix makes so many games, and they cancel a lot of them, Didn't they cancel Memory Keeper, Memory Record Keeper? I can't remember what the name of that game was. They canceled some other RPGs, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna cancel this one at some point, even if it's 5 years from now. They're gonna cancel it. But something like Genshin Impact or those big names, I'm not sure they're gonna cancel them. So yeah, these are my thoughts about this right now. The major gripes I have are the fact that there are a lot of currencies and you don't know what is for what. The fact that it's way too grindy and you cannot skip. And I remember I had another thought. I haven't gained the ability to summon just yet, and that's gonna be a while. I mean, I'm already stuck at Midgard Falls. I've been playing God of War, Midgard. But yeah, I've been stuck at Midgard Falls 10, and I need 10 more to get to 20 so that I can unlock summons. So that's gonna be a long time. And I don't think having things like chocobos is gonna be enough to retain my attention. So this is where you just send your chocobos and some inactive characters to earn some EXP and some materials. Here, let me show you some of the materials that are included in the game. So we talked about the uncapping stuff. These are for leveling up your weapons. Then you've got character memories, right? I gotta talk about these. These take a lot as well. You've got weapon parts and you need hundreds of them, literally, which is a nightmare. Some synthesis stuff for materia. I imagine that's gonna be another nightmare. Though, you know one thing, the rates for the gacha stuff aren't that bad for a gacha game. So if you have a look at this, you've got your what is the rate to draw this one? Let's see. I saw someone on Reddit say they actually drew 3 Murasames somehow. I have no idea how they did that. So you've got a 7.5% chance to draw a 5-star, and I have a bunch of them. You've got a 1% chance to draw Murasame, but I'm not sure that's quite enough. Now there's another thing in the draw system where you actually wishlist, and I can't remember why they said that. Let me see. So you've got your stamp cards. You start, so you go one by one, and when you reach number 6, you get one of 2 things that you've chosen. So here I've chosen, let me close this one. So how do we close this? Over here, I've chosen Murasame, obviously, and you could choose Micro Laser, that's for Barret. But yeah, let's see what else. So you've got your stamps. And each time you stamp once, so far I've stamped I think 3 times. But I suppose you also have a 1% chance to draw Murasame as well, or a 7.5% chance to draw any 5-star. Yeah, I think that's how it works. In the end you get a cosmetic, but unfortunately in this game it seems that the cosmetics actually give you some stats like +6 strength or something, but it's not, night and day. They just give you some stats. I hope that they don't put costumes in the game that give you tons, because that would be unfair. If it was of a higher rarity than the one held, the rarity will decrease to match that of the one held. Right, so I only wanted to say that 7.5% for a 5-star for an SR weapon isn't that bad, probably. And these are some more weapons from those first soldier guides. Then you've got the tickets for individual characters. And yeah, I just hope that they can. I hope they allow us to skip playing the missions rather than triple the playtime, because so far I'm playing this like an idle game. To be honest, if you've ever played those idle games, at least you don't have to keep tapping the screen like Tap Titans or something. But so far I've just been, if I'm not playing the story mode, which I've just finished, if I'm just doing solo content, I just set the phone aside and I keep just hitting replay, replay, replay. Now, the solution to this isn't to make the fights harder to require you to use limit breaks to win, but rather there must be other solutions to make the gameplay actually fun. If you make beating a hard boss doable on manual rather than having us get stomped, then that's a good thing. But you shouldn't ruin the AI, make it stupid just to justify or just force us to use manual mode, because that's gonna be way too hard. I don't think the game is balanced well enough for manual mode. You know, those monsters that attack right away. And I don't think we have the ability to manually keep switching between the different stances, defense and offense, to keep switching between healing and attacking, or at least, you know, to solve that issue, just put defense. I mean, put the fact that put the healing bonus in offense, maybe. Although that doesn't make much sense, because if you're defending, if you're healing, you probably want to defend. But still, I don't know, there must be another solution. Maybe keep the healing just the same throughout, and keep the defense for tanking a really strong attack that the enemy's doing. So these are just rambling thoughts about Final Fantasy VII. You can try it out yourself once it comes out and see if it's something you'd like. And before paying that $1 or $3.99 that buys you some exclusive costumes that are gonna run out in a week or so, just try the game for a week first and see if you're gonna stick with it, and then in a week or two you can decide whether you wanna put $1 right there or just save it up.